What a beautiful star. What is it?
There is so much to do in Infinity Nikki, so much that it can sometimes be overwhelming. It's not long after you learn to run and jump that you're introduced to multiple in-game currencies, countless menus, and hundreds of adorable clothing pieces, accessories, and makeup options. A lot of that is inherent to the Nikki games, a dress-up gacha series that was previously mobile only. It's now on PC and PlayStation 5 as well, swapping the static menus of its predecessors to an impressive open world packed to the brim. It's rare to see a series make such a huge leap, but Infinity Nikki has somehow done so with grace, landing firmly on 2 feet clad in a pair of sparkling heels.
They're flying away! So can we.
Nikki games have always been about building out a wardrobe and dressing up the pink-haired Nikki in any way you choose. And Infinity Nikki doesn't change up that formula, even as it expands into a sandbox world. It has the signature saccharine visuals, outfits ranging from the basic to the fantastical, and the trademark positivity mixed with occasional melancholy in its story. She's still accompanied by her best friend and traveling companion Momo, and there's dense fantasy lore that sometimes introduces surprisingly serious stakes for a game about cute clothes.
You've got a deal. I'm gonna capture every single stunning moment of Nikki's great adventure.
The world of Mirland is lush and colorful, and every element is designed to be as delightful as possible. Flowers glow and NPCs greet you with enthusiasm. It rains, but it never gets gloomy. Even the enemies are designed to be unassuming, with the most threatening you might encounter being a giant walking boulder. You don't even fight these enemies. Instead, you non-violently purify them with a ball of energy. If you didn't know better, you'd think that every character lives on a diet of frosting-coated ice cream cake covered in sprinkles. That's how sugary the world feels, minus the little bits of ruin sneaking into its corners. Like in the Queen's Palace at the start of the story about war and refugees, expertly peppered in. But that's Nikki for you, and it rides this line well. Infinity Nikki's incredibly varied but usually bubbly style is most apparent in its clothing. Nikki truly looks stunning all the time, and developer Infold Games has put immense detail into every outfit. In close-ups, you can practically see each stitch and rhinestone, and when she runs or hops, the way her clothes sway looks just like real fabric. Sometimes it's worth floating down from a high platform just to watch your dress flow in the air. Infinity Nikki hits that same quality of cuteness everywhere else too. For example, various fauna are fluffy, round, and sometimes given absurd names, like these dogs that are officially called floofs. An unlockable ability outfit lets you gently groom these critters to collect their fluff and feathers for crafting clothes, and each animal gets a short wash and their own unique, aggressively cute animation when you do. Thankfully, the Nikki games have never been one note either. One moment can have an always optimistic and soft-spoken Nikki using her styling prowess to help someone take a picture of a flower, and the next, she's dressing up like a police officer to interrogate a suspect in a vast conspiracy involving false wishes putting people into comas.
Nikki, you're amazing. If it were me, I would have gotten tricked.
This emotional whiplash between light and dark isn't anything new for the Nikki series, but it works particularly well in Infinity Nikki because it helps you care about a fantasy story with a tough-to-follow mythos. It's also great for a laugh. Who knows why a town is asking a young pink-haired girl they just met to interrogate a prisoner? But just roll with it.
And by his will, I, the Wish Envoy, will ensure everyone's wishes come true!
The only distraction from this setup are the bugs. Audio can cut over time or not come in at all, and there were a few areas where you could fall through the floor. The important part, however, is that none of these issues took away from the overall enjoyment. Your goals are so open-ended and there's so much to do that there's always enough to keep you busy.
Wish field? For a wish? Maybe it's a perfect place to make a wish.
Infinity Nikki sucks you in with a world just packed with things to do that reveal themselves masterfully over dozens and dozens of hours. You start off in some ruins outside the town of Florawish, collecting items and chatting with various characters. Soon, you'll learn about Whim Stars, special items scattered around the world that allow you to work your way through Nikki's skill tree. Some are simply in hard-to-reach places, but others will be disguised as animals you need to groom, blocked by enemies you must purify, or locked behind simple beautiful puzzles to solve. And that's not even going into collecting these glowing crystals called bling, or just exploring for the sake of it. Outside of the fashion, Infinity Nikki is at its best in how it lures you off the beaten path. As you walk, bike, or fly around the map, you can easily get lost purifying monsters, petting horses, exploring caves, or just finding out if that conspicuously big leaf is actually a trampoline. It may look like other fantasy games, but little touches like the satisfyingly floaty double jump let you explore in a slightly different way. You could spend hours running around Florawish, but venturing elsewhere is always worth it. For example, going to the rival town Stoneville swaps the floofs for off-brand St. Bernards called bowlers. You'll also find different enemies that reward new crafting supplies, and, if you're interested, new lore. And because Infinity Nikki has no deadlines and nothing like the level gating of an RPG open world, you're truly free to do whatever you want. Despite also being on both PS5 and PC, Infinity Nikki is still a free-to-play mobile game at its heart. And like many of that ilk, it has lots of different currencies to spend across many different menus. So much so that it can be hard to keep track of them all. You might not even know what these goals entail, you just know that doing something will reward you. For example, there are weekly tasks you can fulfill to get experience in Mira's Journey, which is just a fancy name for Infinity Nikki's Battle Pass. But rather confusingly, your Mira's Journey levels are not the same as your Mira level. Thankfully, you don't actually need to know how any of these systems work right away in order to make forward progress. Speaking of which, if you thought the menus were tough to keep straight, the countless currencies are even trickier. Bling is the main one, and can be easily obtained, while diamonds are a premium currency used to purchase special outfits or unlock resonite crystals, which are then used for a gacha system that might grant you pieces from a wide array of outfits, including 4 incredibly fantastical 5-star options. Then there's stellarite, which is purchased with real-world money and can be used to buy diamonds and other exclusive outfits directly. There might be too many currencies, but it's all in service of Infinity Nikki's endgame, collecting as many outfits as possible, whether you're using real money or not. Infinity Nikki's microtransaction strategy simply takes advantage of your FOMO. You can craft and pick up plenty of stunning, intricate outfits without ever spending a dime, but the coolest outfits will always either cost money or be in the gacha pool. And why grind for currency when you can just spend real-world money to get the outfit of your dreams? And when the most expensive outfit currently available can cost slightly less than $50, things can quickly get out of control for your wallet if you don't budget wisely, as the Infinity Nikki store reminds you at the top of the menu. That's the pitch, at least. But importantly, none of the outfits you can win from a pack or nab with a lucky pull are required if you want to move forward. Getting a fancy outfit might make it easier to win stylist encounters, which ask you to earn the most points you can by meeting specific prompts with the clothes you wear, but those are pretty easy to succeed at without them. And with no PvP styling competitions like in previous Nikki games, these outfits are essentially just for your own enjoyment. So spending real money is not something you have to do. However, it's tough to say how obnoxious these systems will be in practice. The review copy provided by Infold came with a huge amount of both diamonds and bling so that we could test everything out, but that also makes it trickier to say how this economy will fare over time. Free-to-play games often make it easy to get currencies at the start and then slow things down further in, and that's also been the case in the other Nikki games. But even if you don't spend a dime, it's easy to find at least a few dozen hours of excellent exploration and adventure here for free before you start to notice any roadblocks approaching.
It's not often I get to register such a bright, talented young stylist like you.
Infinity Nikki is the peak free-to-play dress-up game. It still has a few too many currencies and all the gacha pools you would expect from its mobile roots, but it's all in service of building a gorgeous, gigantic wardrobe worth getting excited about. It features some of the most intricate and detailed outfits in any game, and while unlocking them can require a lot of grinding or some real-world money, that just means time spent joyfully exploring its packed open world. There's always something new and either cute or bizarrely dark to discover, and you'll still be unraveling secrets after dozens of hours. Infinity Nikki is perfectly girly positivity rolled up in a pink and sparkling package, and regardless of whether that is something you wanted, it might just be what you need. For more, check out our reviews of LEGO Horizon Adventures or Life is Strange Double Exposure. And for everything else, stick with IGN.